what are some good intervention strategies with somebody who's having trouble learning to read?
Well, giving them additional time with a very good reading instructor. And too many preparation programs for teachers are probably not teaching the science of teaching reading as well as they should be.
Any other specific things that you might, or name me a couple
Well,
things.
for example, I can give you one that appears to be getting very good results, and that is Serve Minnesota, and that model is built on using and training AmeriCorps volunteers to come in and work with kids every day. They have ongoing training for the volunteers. They use data. They have it very well structured. And they now just got picked up by the District of Columbia and some other major area to replicate that program. We've been trying to push replication with funders for quite a while, trying to see if we could get big time investment in partnering with them to roll that up. So that's something without actually pulling teachers out of the classroom. It's very fiscally efficient and gets good results.
What ages are they working with? Are they working with second graders, third graders when they do these extra interventions? And what's the age that you'd like to target for best results?
Well, I think the push that we're pushing for right now is in those first 3 years. Robert Slavin, who developed the Success for All program, has been saying since the early 90s that if you don't know how to read well by the time you leave third grade, your chances of completing school and being successful are not very good. So it's very important to not only have the main skills by then, but I think the missing piece has been the vocabulary development and all of the subsequent knowledge with that. So it's a concentration on building a very rich body of knowledge with kids from the time they're born.
So in Iowa, one of the things we're talking about is this high stakes test in third grade on reading. And if you can't pass the test in third grade, then you are held back. What's been the experience with other states with similar models like that? I mean, does that sound like a promising way to do things?
There are a number of states that do have what we call promotion gates, whether they're at the end of third grade. That's a common one. 8th grade is another one. I guess the way I would like to turn it is, I think the goal there is to have a sense of urgency, that you can't just continue to let kids go. Because retention doesn't work, but neither does social promotion. So the whole point is that there's got to be some change in the instructional process that ensures that those kids do not continue to get behind nor stay behind.
And a key point would be starting earlier.
Starting earlier, involving families earlier, helping families know what kinds of things they can do. If you did a survey of parents out there, a lot of them have no idea that their kids have fewer vocabulary words at their disposal than another family's. They just don't know. And so anything where you can set that sense of urgency for a state, whether it's through retention or some other lever or driver, that is something that needs to be in place so that everybody's thinking about it and everyone has kind of a common knowledge of how you're going after it. And that vocabulary development to me has just been a huge missing piece.
Now, retention or flunking a third grader, what's the downside of doing that?
The downside is that, the long-term research pretty much says that kids are very likely to not really advance that much even after being retained and have a lot higher likelihood of dropping out of school.